Welcome Gemini to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 22nd of July for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. As last week came to a close, there was a dramatic development. Mars, the planet of passion and power, moved into your sign, where he's going to be for the next 6 weeks. But the big news is that he links to Pluto in the most amazing way for the first time in over 220 years, between Gemini hosting Mars and Aquarius hosting Pluto. This gives you an opportunity to really articulate your ideas with a lot of passion. But the full moon that brought last week to a close also was asking you to make sure the ins and outs in your financial resources were working well too. And of course last week may have seen a lot of tension, a lot of unsettled energy, and perhaps there's still some of that as you come into this week, because your ruler Mercury is conflicted by Uranus through to Thursday. Now Mercury's in the part of your chart that's very much to do with what you're attached to in terms of your pride, particularly around your ideas. Someone could reveal something that could put you a little on the back foot. But the fact that on Monday, as we begin this week, the Sun joins up with Venus and your ruler Mercury in the sign of Leo is just going to give you even more certainty and conviction about the things that are really engaging you. But because the Sun does go opposite Pluto, and that becomes exact on Tuesday, there could be a big challenge to what you're saying. Now, if you feel really invested in your ideas and you're really sure of your mission, the chances are that Mars' angle to the Sun and also to Pluto can see you glance off any opposition that comes from that, or from the square between Uranus and Mercury. And as the week goes on, Mercury actually moves into the other zodiac sign that it rules, of Virgo. The good thing about that, although Virgo is an earth sign, for you, the fourth house that Mercury occupies is very much about the emotional dimension. And because there is all this air energy and fire energy, really bringing a lot of stimulation to your situation, I feel Mercury actually can just pause or slow things down a little bit in a way which can actually be positive for you. Now Friday sees Chiron, the so-called wounded healer, in your sector of how you connect to others, but also in the sign of Aries, which is very much to do with our identity. So if you're someone who's very strong in groups, comfortable in any kind of collective situation, there may be some lessons to be learnt between now and the 29th of December. But if this is an area that you're not so confident around, the chance for you to work inside yourself on this. But also, as the week draws to a close, there is a quarter moon. This quarter moon is in your 12th solar house, and it is angling to the Sun in your 3rd house. So if you like, it's almost a repetition of Uranus's square to Mercury. Again, something can come into the open. Perhaps you're going to reveal an inner frustration that you've been keeping very close to your chest, or might it be that someone's going to spring an observation upon you in terms of how they view some of your attitudes. Equally, both are possible. But the big picture from this week, Gemini, is that after the 6 weeks of Mars making its way through the most psychological part of your situation, which may have been draining, demotivating at times, it may have dragged up a lot of old stuff that perhaps you thought you dealt with in the past, that actually has been still active in your subconscious. Now you're moving much more into the moment, and you are going to find yourself much more vigorous, much more engaged. But just be aware, someone could see something very differently to you, and because of that, surprise you with that revelation. Have a great week. It's been great being with you, but if you would like to have a one-to-one with me, a personal consultation, please check out my testimonials below. I don't edit these, I share them as is. Discover what other people have found working with me. If you would like to become a patron from $3 a month, I upload a lot of extra information. If you are already a Patreon, thank you so much for all your support. And if you would like to ascend beyond this zodiac forecast and embrace the power of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights to the patterns that are played out in your life so far, but a much more intimate understanding of how to work with those energies future forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you can also get your 12 months transits. That's the moving planets in the sky interacting with your totally unique blueprint. Also, if you know your tropical astrology, but you'd like to discover your draconic astrology based on your soul, your karmic charts, please see below for that too. The same package, it can be very, very different to your natal chart, but very much an eye-opener. Have a great week. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.